everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kelly and welcome to my home. In today's video, I will be sharing with you some super simple, affordable, quick, easy DIYs to help celebrate your patriotic side. And as you can see, I am celebrating Canada Day, and this is in collaboration with another group of YouTube ladies. We're all from Canada and we're getting together to share some easy DIYs that you can incorporate for whatever national holiday you're celebrating. So let's get started on my DIYs to help me celebrate my national holiday, Canada Day, on July 1st. For this first DIY project, I'm going to be painting this little wooden crate that I found at my local thrift store a while ago, and I'm just going to be using this Rust-Oleum linen white. But I am doing something a little different from the typical red and white on this crate. I am going to be painting it to match what is pretty iconic here in Canada, and it is the Hudson Bay stripes, and I thought this would be so pretty on this crate. So I'm going to be painting it to match these stripes. So after giving the crate a good wipe down and a good sanding, I just sat down with a cup of tea and I started to give this 2 coats of this Rust-Oleum chalked linen white paint. And if you haven't already done so, I'd love for you to join me over on Instagram. And if you do make any of these projects, make sure to tag me because I would love to see them, to see what you guys made. Now that the base coat is dry, it's time to start adding the tape so I can start doing the stripes. And I decided to go with the thinner tape. I wasn't sure which one would work better, but it ended up being the thinner tape worked better. So what I did was I just started taping off the crate, and I used the width of the tape as the spacer so that when it was all said and done, I could just pull off every second piece of tape, if this is making any sense, and then that would leave me with a colored stripe and a white stripe, a color and a white, and so on and so on. And this is how it looks when I'm going to get painting. So now is the fun part, and it's just adding in the different color of stripes. And here's the crate with a couple of coats of the stripes painted on, and as you can see that some of the paint did bleed through underneath the tape. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to cover up certain sections, and look how bad this is. Oh my gosh, I couldn't believe how messy I was on that blue. I should have taped off that part and I forgot to do it. So what I decided to do was just cover up the really bad spots with some tape, and then I'm just going to go over it next to the tape with my white, and it should make for a cleaner line. And here's the crate all finished. Better, yes. Is it perfect? No, by any means, but it is a little better. And I'm not going to worry too much about it. It's a rustic look, and the insides will be covered when I use it outside. And here it is outside. You can use it to, to create your condiments around, napkins, your knives and forks, your cutlery, and place it on the table. I think that's so cute. Or how about some wine and beer and some wine glasses? You can use this for anything that you need outside. Our Canada A collaboration is hosted by Lisa from Lisa & Company, and it features these lovely Canadian YouTubers as well, so be sure to check out the playlist as well as the links to their channels, all listed below. For the next DIY, here are the materials that you're going to need to make this project. I am using colored paper in red and white, and I am using 4 sheets of each. I got some ribbon to use on this as well, of course in red and white, and I happened to find a Canada flag one. Some hot glue, glue of your choice, scissors, and some twine to hang the pinwheels up. So for this project, all I did was I took each piece of paper, I simply eyeballed it, and I just started folding it accordion style. I didn't take any measurements. I was too lazy to do that, I guess. I just eyeballed it and just kept folding all the pieces of paper over accordion style. And once all the pieces of paper were folded accordion style, I just took it and I folded it in half again so that you have a fan shape. And if you haven't already, I'd love for you to subscribe. And if you're enjoying this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Once I had all the papers in a fan shape, I just simply took my hot glue gun and glued them together in the middle so that the two sides would stay together. I then cut pieces of my ribbon into varying lengths to use, and then I started to make the pinwheel shape, alternating red and white. And once I had my shape together, now I'm just going to start attaching it with some hot glue. And what I decided to do was put the ribbon in between a red and a white one first. I just thought it would be easier to do that. So after gluing the ribbons into the between the two pieces, I just continued the process and glued all the pieces of the pinwheel together. And this is what you get when it's all finished. It's so pretty, it's so cute, a little pinwheel with some little ribbon tails. But I thought it was just missing something else, especially in the middle. So I went into my stash, and this is my fall stash, and I have tons of leaves. So I grabbed some red ones, and I simply hot glued them to the middle because the maple leaf is in the middle of our flag. And I think it just finished off the pinwheels perfectly. It was exactly what they needed in the middle. Now we need a way to hang these up. So I took my 1-hole punch and I just punched some holes at the top of them, and then I am going to string through some of that twine that I have, and that's how I'm going to use to hang them up outside. Once they were completed, I brought them outside and I'm going to string them up on my umbrella. And they look so pretty up there, just hanging from it, especially with the wind blowing. It was quite windy when I was doing this, but they look really, really cute. And here's the third DIY project for Canada Day and the materials that you're going to need to make this. I am using 3 cans. I've taken off the top and the bottom and given them a good rinse. And I forgot to show it, but I am using Rust-Oleum paint, spray paint. My ribbons again, I'm going to be using those. Some hot glue and some scissors, that's just to cut the ribbon. And then what I did was I took the tin cans, after I gave them a spray coat of my white Rust-Oleum paint, I took it into my husband's workshop and he gave me this little tool, and I just punched some holes in the tin. It was really, really easy to do so that I could string them up from the trees when they're all done. And I just made sure once I'd done it that the holes were big enough. And then after the paint had dried, now it's just the fun part of decorating. And I love this big red and white ribbon. It was so pretty. So now I'm just going to decide how I want these ribbons to sit on my tin cans. And once I get a pattern that I like, I'm just simply going to hot glue them onto the can. What I decided to do first was just take a piece of ribbon, make sure it went around the can, and I used this as a template to cut all the pieces of my ribbon so as not to waste time and have to measure each piece. So I used it as a template, cut a bunch of pieces of ribbon, and then I could just get to hot gluing on all the pieces once I had designs in place. This one was a fun one to do because this ribbon had all the maple leaves on it and I got the plain red ribbon. I was able to make it look like a little Canada flag with the 2 red on the outside and the red maple leaf in the middle. So it was really fun to do this one. And here are the 3 designs that I came up with. I think they look so cute. But I wasn't quite finished with them because now what I'm going to do is take some of the same ribbon and just make tails that I will glue onto the bottom so that when they're hanging up, they have little streamers hanging down. And as I was doing this part with the ribbons, I suddenly remembered that I had some purling ribbon that you use at Christmas time. So I thought that would be the perfect addition to the bottom of these little tin cans. And it was exactly what these things needed. So I just took a bunch of pieces and hot glued them onto the bottom with the rest of the ribbons. And then once they were done, I took them outside and I strung them onto branches on a tree on my front yard. And now I'll just give you a little tour of how everything turned out so far. I'm still not finished decorating for Canada Day, but this is how it's looking so far, and I love it. I just stick in my Canada flags in some of my gardens, in the front and the back, and what's Canada Day without a little bit of sparkle, right? This is a Christmas pillow I use, and I just place it on my husband's Adirondack chair. And Gussie cannot be left out. He has his Canada Day frisbee. He is obsessed with frisbees, so he has to have his too. I hope you enjoyed seeing these DIY projects to help celebrate your patriotic side. And you can see that these can be made for any nationality, whatever colors. They're just fun to do. And I hope that you give them a try, and be sure to tag me on Instagram if you do, because I'd love to see them. And to all my Canadian friends, happy Canada Day. Don't forget to check out the playlist below and everybody else's channel for more inspiration to celebrate your patriotic side. And until I see you and talk to you in my next video, guys, I hope you have a fabulous week. Cheers!
I've been waiting for this, yeah. It's been up on my mind, though it's hard to realize.